Hello and welcome to The Reasons I'm Broke. I'm Kelly.
And I'm Daniel.
And we apologize for our lateness this week, but we have a great podcast for you to hopefully make up for it. First off, on the indie side, we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This is written by Kevin Eastman and Tom Waltz, and the art is by Ben Bates. This is the last of the Krang story arc, where they go to the Krang planet and they fight alongside the Zelda people and save the king and queen and the princess. And I still didn't like it.
Does Mikey get his with the princess?
He gets a kiss on the cheek. That was enough for him.
Yeah, he's like, this'll do. This'll do just fine.
What were your thoughts on it, though? I know you were kind of liking this arc.
Yeah, I thought it was a cool ending. I like how at the very end they reunite with Splinter again, who was all worried about them. But yeah, you're right. This arc was a little bit weaker than the last couple so far. Probably the weakest. Since the series debuted, but it still wasn't a bad comic. I still enjoyed it. Like you said, the interaction between the turtles was the best part. And once we move into that with the next arc, I think it'll get much better too.
With them in the church.
Yeah.
The art was great in it, though. I especially liked at the very end they show that cover of the next one.
Yeah.
And that's beautiful.
Kevin Eastman always does great covers for him. Keeping it on TMNT, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Secret History of the Foot Clan. This is number 4. The story is by Matteo Santoloco, and the art is by Matteo Santoloco.
Oh, good job, Matteo Santoloco.
He took over this book all on his own.
This is my book now.
But he's been doing good with this little arc, this 4-issue thing. Every time we see the turtles, like, they each have that headband that's all ripped up, and each one is different. But at the same time, when he's coloring all of it, it's done in such a way that it does make you feel like this is an old-timey story. This is legend. Right. And I felt like it was a pretty strong end to it, because it was all about Splinter reliving the past life of his, and that's how he's able to save the turtles at one point, because he remembers that someone like Splinter probably would use a completely different tactic, and he actually used the same underhanded thing where he tried to get the Foot Clan to sneak up behind the turtles of the building, and that's how they got him the first time in a way. Right. And he's like, he warns his sons, and they make it out just fine, and you really find out more about the Splinter. It's all solidified with this final issue. If you want to know the history of Splinter, he is pretty much Ra's al Ghul with the way they dipped him in. I'm sorry, yeah, Shredder. They dip him into the Lazarus pit. He comes out and he's immortal. I
liked Mikey in this too, because he's like, "Yep, I can read Japanese." That was pretty cool. I love this arc. It's a complete 180 for me between this regular TMNT and the history of the Foot Clan. This was phenomenal. I love the art. I was intrigued through the entire thing. I love the twist at the end of how Shredder actually stays alive.
With the Lazarus pit, yeah.
Well, but who it is. I mean, when you look at the cover, you'll see it. But that, I thought, was really cool. Just kind of tied everything in together real nicely. Yeah. Because when, in the first issue, they're talking about he's alive because of this demon. I'm like, really? You guys are now incorporating demons? What is, I mean, okay, talking turtles is one thing, but now we're going to throw this in too. But I like their explanation. It worked really, really well.
What they would see as a demon, ends up being like an alien race.
Right, right. Next, we have my pick of the week. This is Saga, Chapter 11, written by Brian K. Vaughan and drawn by Fiona Staples, both of who are doing a phenomenal job thus far.
Yeah, the issues have been very strong, all of them.
Yes, the art especially, as well, is beautiful. Very sad issue. Don't read it in a public place.
Yeah, you turn the first page and whoa!
But it was a very sad issue. We have, they're escaping that fetus baby. And Mom gives him 2 helmets, I guess, 2 vanishing helmets so they can transport back to their world. And she says, here you go, take your daughter and go so that you can live. And he takes it and throws it into the ship's engine so that it can burn better. Meanwhile, you got Dad upstairs with Alana. And the ship's breaking apart, and he's like, nah, I got this. And he uses his magic to hold it together.
Spider webs.
Right. But his heart's failing, and she's like, but your heart. And he goes, my heart is downstairs, referring to his wife and son. I'm so sad now. And the last thing he sees is his granddaughter, and he has peace. And then he dies.
Yeah, it was really cool, too.
It was so good and so sad.
Your pick of the week?
Definitely. This has been one of the, because, I love the Batman and I love all that in there, but even with all these other series that we have issues where we're kind of like, that wasn't that strong. This thing's 11 issues in, and I haven't had a single issue that hasn't been my pick of the week, every week. It's just, it's got the bar way up there, and I hope they can hold on to that because it's amazing.
Yeah, you pretty much covered it. It's a really good series. You should be picking it up. It's both female and male readers would enjoy it.
Right, even if you just get it for the trade, too. Because they should have the second one coming out soon, shouldn't they?
Yeah.
So definitely, even if you just want to get the trade, completely worth it. In fact, I say we get the trades, too. Just throw our money at these people so they keep making more.
Next is Simpsons Comics number 200. Big issue for them. They've been doing this for many years. Matt Groening started the Bongo Company, and now they're up to the 200th. It's a $4.99 book, tons of pages, no ads. And it's kind of one story, but it's not the first. I'd say about 75% of it is one story, and then the rest of it is another.
Two stories.
The first story is about the history of Springfield and the U.S., and how they're recognizing that Springfield doesn't have like a legend of sorts, but then each one of the citizens are like, wait, we were involved in each one of these historical findings in some way. So like Professor Frink actually gave the Wright brothers the technology to fly, and they had the comic book guy created Superman.
Yeah.
That was probably my favorite part of it.
My favorite, that one was funny, where they leave him the picture of Superman. He's like, this won't be worth anything.
Yeah.
He rips it up. My favorite, I think, was the Fantastic Forefathers.
Yeah.
They were flying around, George Washington, Ben Franklin.
Yeah, and then the second story was with Mo. He hires like someone to wash the dishes and clean the store, clean the bar.
Well, but he adds food, so she's like the chef.
Yeah, and they actually end up falling in love, and it turns out that she is a lot meaner than he is, and actually matches his meanness, so he's trying to get rid of her, and then of course at the end, he actually starts to like her, and she says, no, well, I don't like you this way, Mo, I thought you weren't soft like this, and leaves him. Overall, the issue, I think this is going to be our last Simpsons comic. Probably. For a while. We're going to switch over to Bart Simpson.
It was an okay comic. I would pick it up because I still had some laughs in there, but it's not as strong as, Bart was great. Radioactive Man is great. It's not as strong as some of the other things we could be picking up.
Right, so we're going to switch over to that for a little bit.
Next, from Kaboom Comics, we have Adventure Time number 14. This is written by Ryan North. It has art by both Sherry Parline and Braden Lamb. This is continuing with the Elbow, Yulbo... Cule Boy, as he becomes in this. Basically the guy who's living inside a computer and now infected all their computer friends. I don't like this arc as much as I like the last one, where they went into the future. It was still okay.
Yeah, it was alright, yeah.
It was just okay. But it's still good. I would still recommend picking up Adventure Time.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what they do next. A lot of these books that we've been getting, it's been like the arc's been alright, but then like the next one we're more looking forward to because the one previous to this was so strong. Right. That this one in comparison doesn't look...
Well, and it looks like next month is going to be Princess Time and focus on Lumpy Space Princess. And I'm super excited for that.
Yeah, those are always good.
Yeah, yep.
And I did like how Finn in this issue called himself like the best princess. And
yeah, that was funny. The second story was really funny. They should do a Marceline Ice King story.
They should.
I think they should do an arc, and then I can cry.
Hopefully it'll be better than that second episode.
Or they'll put... Yeah, that second episode wasn't that great. I wasn't very sad. But they should do your Prismo.
Prismo was awesome.
You loved Prismo. That was a great episode. If you guys got on demand or, I don't know, wait till they come out on Netflix.
Prismo was really funny.
Was hilarious.
Very flamboyant. I loved it.
And Ice King and Marceline are good, too. They make me... I love what the creators have done with this, because you look at it and you're like, oh, that's just a kid's show. And they're like, yeah, it's a kid's show, but they fucking look like this because of a nuclear explosion. This is like after war and terrible stuff, and it's hilarious.
And apocalyptic, yeah. Yeah. Next is the Avatar: The Last Airbender: The Search Part 1. It's like a trade. The script is by Gene Yang, and the art and cover are by Gurihuru. Woo! He did the last couple of trades for Avatar.
I think so. What was it called? The Promise?
Yeah, The Promise. And this one's going to... It explores, actually, the history behind Zuko's mom, which has always been a mystery in the show. Some controversy with the ending, especially on this particular issue.
I think it's the truth.
You think it's the truth?
I think it's
All right, we're going to spoil it real quick. So
Spoilers.
If you don't want to... Yeah, spoiler alert. It turns out that... I don't know the man's name, but pretty much Zuko isn't...
Yeah, so his mom had a secret lover. Well, not really a secret. They were going to get married. And then, what's his name? Azulan shows up. And he's like, yo, so you're Roku's great-great-granddaughter, some crap like that. So you're going to marry my son, Ozai. And she's like, oh, okay, well, I guess I have to go marry him now. But then I guess she was pregnant? I don't know.
That's what the book was trying to say. I still don't think it's true. I think that's just a hook for you to buy the next part.
Well, I would have bought the next part anyway.
I don't know. It's just, I don't
Anyway,
believe it.
It ends with Zuko finding a letter that was written by his mom. And what his mom always sent out letters to this guy, her old lover, and would give them to this maid so that she could send it out. And then the maid would always take it to Ozai, and he would read it, and he'd be like, bah, lock this away, or some other crap like that. So anyway, this particular letter said, you know, I miss you, you were right, I should have stayed with you. My only consolation is looking at our son. Mm-hmm. Which is Zuko, unless she has another secret son.
I don't know, I still don't buy it. That's just me, though.
I really liked it, though. I enjoyed it. I loved to see Katara and Zuko fall in love there.
The art matched the show well. It continues. It flows.
Uncle was hilarious for, like, the 2 scenes he was in there. Mm-hmm. Couple panels.
But the whole time, I'm like, Zuko's an idiot. He's letting his sister run around.
Leave Zuko alone. He's going to become Space Zuko someday, and he's going to be so sad.
And he'll fall in love with Aya.
Yep. And then she'll die. Still need to write that fan fiction.
He's just too trusting, though. He's trying to mend his family together, and he doesn't learn from his mistakes.
Well, you wouldn't want to mend your family together?
Not after everything that he's been through and all the ways that they've tried to kill him.
Well,
no.
It's true, but...
They had more than enough chances.
Okay, he's not like, you know, mid-20s and has learned all this by now. He's only 16 years old.
But he's been through more shit than most men.
But he's only 16 years old. Give him a chance.
No, I've given him enough chances, too.
Uncle has been trying to inspire love and tea on him, so...
And Uncle's been encouraging him.
Yeah, just let Uncle do what he wants. He died, Dan. Uncle is dead. Those last few issues, that wasn't Uncle. Next is the Superior Spider-Man. This is number 6. Mm-hmm. It's only taken a month to get to 6. Written by Dan Slott and drawn by Humberto Ramos. This one was really good. It's coming out way too frequently still, I think. I think they're trying to rush back to Peter Parker. They're like, oh, nobody likes him. Here you go. Here's some more.
No, people are liking him just fine, but they're trying to make extra. I mean, and it's working. You know, they're trying to make extra money off of this issue. If you bring out 2 or 3 a month, you're now spending, you know, for it $12 a month instead of just the 4.
Yeah. But
this was my pick of the week, actually. So as far as them rushing it, it's still, the story's staying strong and the art is really nice.
I agree. This is following, they're called...
It's like the Jokester, not the Joker.
Jester and Screwball.
Yeah.
Were their names, and what they do is they pretty much... They're not doing any real villainry, they're just going around humiliating people.
They're humiliating big public figures.
Like the
people
mayor.
That are,
yeah.
People that are popular, people that they see as they have it coming type of thing. Mm-hmm. They go after J. Jonah Jameson, who is the mayor. And he hires or tells Spider-Man to go after them.
Go get them.
And at first, you know, Doc Ock, Spider-Man doesn't care because he doesn't like J. Jonah Jameson. But then he's like, you know what, fine, I'll bring him down. This is the issue in which you see Doc Ock's villainy really come out. That bad side of him, that part that he can't control.
It's that, but it's also that stems from his history.
With his childhood, right?
Right. What happens is, towards the end of the comic, they find a way to humiliate Spider-Man, and they're laughing at him, and everyone's laughing at him. And he has a flashback to when he's younger, and people are laughing at him, and he just loses it.
Yeah, he goes a little far in this issue as well. In the last issue, he fucking murdered that guy.
Yeah.
Here, he breaks these two, and loses his temper, and takes it out on all those memories of him gets taken out on these 2 pranksters.
Right.
And that's when the Avengers decide, yeah, we need to bring him down. Not only is he probably fired from the Avengers, but he's going to have a fight with them. Mm-hmm. And that's what the next cover has like the Avengers against Spider-Man.
But I'm interested to see now how this Spider-Man's going to be able to take on the Avengers. Because you don't
it's going to be...
you don't think Doc Ock thought about how to bring them down?
Batman's thought about how to bring them down. You're right, he might have.
So it'd be interesting to see with that knowledge and what a genius and, you know, his ruthlessness to a degree. Mm-hmm. How he's going to get to go in there and just
put
destroy
that up
them.
Against them.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for Doc. But I've liked the Spider-Man. I've liked him better than Peter Parker.
Yeah. Yep, he's done a really good job. He has a little moment with his woman. Mm-hmm. Destroys a car of somebody who was making fun of her.
Yeah, because she was a little person. She's a little person, and they're making fun of her for that. Like, this is the clown that's coming out of this clown car. Where are the rest of the clowns?
You know, that'll be interesting, too, to see how she can help him through those issues that he has.
If that story goes in that direction, I would be so happy.
Right, because he takes those feelings and turns it into anger, and she just lets it brush off. Mm-hmm. So, to see her help him find acceptance within himself, that'd be really cool.
That would be great. Then he could be even more superior. Next is the Ultimate Comics Spider-Man number 21. This continues the Venom War. The writer is Brian Michael Bendis, and the art is by Sarah Pichelli. This one, you have Miles and his friend get introduced to both MJ and Gwen Stacy. Mm-hmm. Because Gwen, of course, has a tie-in with the previous symbiote, so she understands what Venom is, and together they research how to stop Venom and try to figure out why he's going after Miles. And at this point, Miles is beating himself up because he is learning what great power and great responsibility mean. And when his father gets put in the hospital, critically injured by Venom, he says, this is my fault, I should have done this, I should have just left with them. And they're like, no, he would have just came after you anyway. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the issue, Venom shows up at the hospital where his father is, so somehow this Venom, whoever it is that's under, still thinks that Miles' dad is Spider-Man. Or that he is in some way connected to Spider-Man because he saw Spider-Man in the previous issue fighting him. So that's the way that he wants to hurt Spider-Man, is just by going after his dad. What'd you think of this issue?
It was okay. I mean, it was good, but it's not one of my favorites.
It moved a little slowly, didn't it?
Yeah. And it's just, and I don't know that, maybe it's because I didn't start from the beginning. I think I came in on issue, it was 10 or 11 or, it's been recently. But I don't really feel for Miles. I'm just like, well, whatever, kid. Your dad jumped in front of Venom. It's his own damn fault.
I'm more interested in knowing who Venom is, if anything.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see. Next is Sword of Sorcery, Amethyst. This is number 6. Written by Christy Marks and art by Aaron Lopresti. This is coming up to the end, isn't it?
Yep.
How many more issues do we have?
And they just introduced a little love story, too.
Yep. But we see a villain called Eclipso, who is also Lord of the Black Diamond, and gets there to wreak havoc because of Constantine. I am sick of Constantine. If I see Constantine again, I'm going to be pretty pissed off.
They're trying to get you to buy his solo issues.
Well, I'm not going to buy his solo issues because I'm already pissed off at him. I saw him in Animal Man, and I was pissed off at him. I saw him here, and I'm pissed off at him.
iVampire, also.
iVampire, yes, and I'm pissed off at him. Stop it, Constantine. He's constantly everywhere. Look what I did there. But it was a good issue. Like you said, we did get the love story. The guy who got the emerald power, what gem power did he get? Turquoise, her grandfather's power. The guy who got that is there, and they fall on top of each other, and he's like, oh, look at the lady. And then they were in love.
Already? That bugs me.
Well, they're going to end. They gotta just wrap everything up. They're in love. We did see, after Constantine sent Eclipso to the other world, we saw...
Just to get rid of him, he wants him out of Earth.
Right.
And he puts him back, and he destroys the portal, and he says, your problem now, sorry.
Jerk.
Yeah. He's doing what's right for Earth.
No, he's being an asshole.
Now, if Batman had done it, though, we'd be like, yeah, get rid of him.
Good job, Batman. But Batman wouldn't have done it unless that world was evil or something. Like, he would have sent him to Apocalypse instead. He wouldn't have sent him to this nice, almost peaceful other place. So, after Constantine sends him through, we actually see some ghost guy. Like, thanks, I can help my daughter now. Who is this guy?
Her father.
Well, I guess, but where'd he come from?
From the crystal.
Well, I don't know. That's weird. So that didn't make a whole lot of sense to me.
And then the backup story with Stalker, that was pretty good as well. That's been strong.
That's continuing. It was the guy who made a deal with the devil that his wife and child would live through childbirth. And they did, but then they caught a cold afterwards and they both died. And the devil's like, well, you just said childbirth.
Tough luck.
Yeah, so he makes him immortal and goes around. He pretty much owns his soul. So he's been living for all these years, killing people for the devil. And the devil goes, you got this one last mission. I want this girl's kid. And then once you're free, you don't have to do anything else. Well, he finds the girl, and it turns out it's his great-great-great-granddaughter or reincarnation or something of his wife. And he's like, nope, can't do it. So she has the baby, but then she dies too. But the baby lives, which is good. So now he's got this baby, and they're running around from the devil.
Yeah, his great-great-great-great-grandson.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's going up against Lucifer, and he's using up his magic. All that he needs right now is Constantine to come and save him.
No, I was just going to say that. No, Constantine better not pop out because I'll be pissed. And then it's like, finish the story in Constantine. I'd be like, no, comics. No, go away.
Next is Batman Beyond Unlimited. This is number 14. One of the writers is Adam Beecher. That was for the first part of the story with Bruce Wayne and Dana and Terry McGinnis, Batfake. She makes it clear to both of them that she knows that he is Batman. She knows that Bruce Wayne was Batman. And Bruce Wayne finally gets a donor for the organ he needs. I think it was a liver, right? And it turns out it's the Joker King's.
Right, because he died, and it's Dana's brother. So she convinced her dad, look, we need to do this for this guy.
So part of Joker will always be inside Batman.
Right. The thing I didn't like about that first part, and I just want to point this out, is kind of told from her point of view about, music always helps me escape, but there's no music now, da-da-da. I'm like, is this 15-year-old fan fiction? Because that's always how they start out. That's all. I come from a tough childhood and my background, and my parents don't love me, and they were always, but music helps me escape when I dance. But I like the ending of it where she's like, yeah, I know who you are, or no, she said it's about Batman. That was one of my favorites. She's talking to Terry, and she goes, well, we need to go see Bruce together. And he goes, why? And she says, well, it's about Batman. He's like, oh, no, are you in love with Batman? Going, yeah, I was over here, and he swooped out of nowhere, and he kicked all these guys' asses by himself, and I got away. And then he's like, wait, I'm making him sound way too cool. That was one of my favorite parts of it. But I liked Bruce's revelation at the end, where he's like, you need people to trust, and I wish I had realized that.
Mm-hmm. And I guess we're going to see a return from the real Joker. I heard in one of the podcasts.
Oh, really?
They were saying that they're going to bring back Joker in some way. The actual Joker, they haven't revealed how, but that'll be really fun.
Harley's kid.
With Riddler.
No, with the Joker. She was pregnant when he died.
The second story, Superman Beyond, it is written by J.T. Krull, continues his rescue by his...
Wait, what's the title of this?
Well, it's Superman Beyond, but the actual arc...
It's called Gift from Above.
Yeah.
I bet that's what he thinks he is for Batman. Hey, Batman, I'm a gift from above.
Unwrap me in any way.
No, Clark. And then he just walks away.
He gets saved by his supporters, his worshippers, the slaves that he freed, and they've now evolved into like the superior race with stronger technology. Even their bodies they're bigger, they're stronger. They've pretty much developed for war and to fight their old masters. And this issue is all about Superman pretty much going into their world and getting to meet them. But at the same time, he's like, stop worshiping me. You saved me. What kind of savior am I if you have to save me? But they're still like, no, you saved us all those years ago, and you did what's right for our race.
Well, this twist at the end is kind of cool, too, because Superman goes, you guys changed so much. How did you evolve to become so big? And they point out, we were kids then. And he says, well, where were all the adults? They killed them.
Killed all the adults off.
They enslaved the children, and then when they got to a certain age, they killed them, so that they could never grow up to be this.
Yeah, it's a really dark story, and they still have like that Superman symbol on their chest.
I'm interested to see where it will go. Not a whole lot happened in this or this next story that we're going to talk about, because Batman was so big at the beginning.
Mm-hmm. And the Flash Drive story, it's the third part of the book. It's written by Derek Friedolfs. This is the next Flash. In the Batman Beyond universe, I guess you would say Flash Beyond. But he is connected by the Speed Force to the previous Flashes. She is, sorry. It's kind of like Superior Spider-Man, where Peter Parker tries to control Doc Ock, and here it's the other Flashes. Their memories are a part of this new Flash, and she can kind of connect with them.
They can talk to her, yeah.
At the very end, one of the Flashes tells her to race Superman.
Yeah, that was cute.
You just have to do it to prove that you're the fastest person alive. And you have to be faster than Superman if you're going to be the Flash.
Mm-hmm.
Go
ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I don't know if they're going to continue it, but I thought that was a really, really cool ending. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was. It was cute. But I didn't like how it tied back into Batman. How they did it, because Batman started out so strong, where Batman's got this place for all his villains that have died.
The vault, yeah.
And then it went straight to this girl, which was a much lighter story, and now we flip back to where he's putting them back in the vault. And I wish they had just continued. Like, I wish it was Batman who figured all this out. But we'll see where it goes. One thing I've noticed, though, future Justice League, it's all young kids.
Yeah, except for Superman, they pretty much are, and Blackhawk.
Yeah, but even he's kind of young.
not that he's not that young.
Comparatively.
Like comparatively, he's actually even older than the rest of them.
Well, no, but I mean compared to the old Justice League.
Yeah, they're a lot younger. It seems like they're developing powers at a younger age, and I think it's just from a writing standpoint, they're trying to connect it so much to previous characters that they make them like their grandchildren or grandkids. And that's the way Batman Beyond also went by. Terry McGinnis he's a baby compared to Bruce Wayne when he was Batman.
I guess. I don't like it. Next on our list is Catwoman number 18, written by Ann Nocenti and drawn by Rafa Sandoval. I liked it.
You liked it? I liked it too.
I liked it because they were in love.
I liked it because Batman established that he wasn't in love.
No, they're in love. We read this book very differently, guys. They're in love.
This was another Robin tie-in, but it wasn't because the way they did it, which bugged me, is they made it so that Batman was damaged by the Joker incidents, by death of the family, but he's really damaged by Damian Wayne's death, and they don't make that clear enough in this. They even straight up say, yeah, what Joker did to me bothers me too, and I know it got to you just like it got to me, but I never told him that I cared about you because I don't.
No, she did not say that. She didn't.
She said it.
She did not say that in that many words. Okay, so here's what happened. She didn't tell the Joker that she cared about him. They can't admit that they care about each other because, like she said, people die when you start to care about each other. So even though they love each other, they can't even admit that to themselves because stuff could happen. So they're in love because really when you're in their position, you can't be with anybody else. You can't be with anybody normal because nobody understands.
And Batman makes it clear by saying,
no.
Go away.
No, because he can't get close to her. He just lost his son. What happened if he loses his woman too?
She was not able to mend his heart as we previously felt she would be able to. At least you did. I knew she would.
But she gave him a hug.
And then he pushed her away and said, go away.
But he hugged her back for a little while.
And then he realized this isn't doing anything
No,
for me.
And then he felt better, and he's like, oh man, this is doing too much for me.
It's not doing a thing.
Gotta go
I don't
take
feel
a cold shower.
Not hard at all. It's just...
It's not hard at all. Oh, I think he was. Do you remember the first Catwoman? Throwing that out there.
She was practically raping him.
No.
See that look on his face like, stop.
No. Nobody can rape that man.
Not even Catwoman, you're right. But you like this issue, number 18?
Yes, because they're in love.
And then her old, it would have been her new flame, I guess, the cop. She sees them hugging.
Yes.
She doesn't need me anymore. She's got him.
Yeah, she
runs off storming.
She was a little girl.
Meanwhile, Batman destroyed her helmet, but he did make her return all the paintings that she had stolen, and she did this not because he was paying her, but she felt like she was doing the right thing. And this is, I think, one of those actions that puts Catwoman in that not all superhero, but not a villain either.
So, anti-hero, is that what we call them?
More of, I guess, how we would act, because we might do bad things, but then if someone tells us otherwise to correct us, we could learn from that experience and try to correct it. And that's
someone who loves her.
And that's what she did in this issue. She returned all the paintings. They're not in love.
They are in love. You just don't want to admit it. They're in love.
Moving on. Justice League of America number 2. We really liked the first one. It's written, of course, by Jeff Johns, drawn by David Finch. This is more of the villain group forming.
Yep.
Pretty much Amanda Waller says our Justice League of America, is going to go up against this group of villains, and if they can't take them down, they're not going to be able to take down the Justice League. And he says, well, they haven't even been tested. And she says, this is the test.
Yeah, I'm still loving how they're putting this together. It feels like a movie to me every time I read this. In fact, they should make this a movie.
Very cinematic.
Yeah, it's great. Catwoman's still in love with Batman.
Well, she does kiss Steve in this.
Stop! We've been over this. She steals his wallet.
And then remembers, steals the wallet, right? Sees that picture of Steve and Wonder Woman together. It flashes back to Wonder Woman walking away from Steve saying, I'm sorry. And then she flashes back to Batman walking away saying, it would never work. And that's when she makes that emotional connection with him. You see her real sad looking.
She makes a friend connection with him.
Oh, it'll start out as friends.
No, it won't. Okay, guys, come on. Get on here, comment. Let this guy know. Catwoman and Batman are in love.
And it continues from here. They go on.
See, you're avoiding this because you know I'm right.
I'm not avoiding this. I know I'm not going to... We're never going to settle this until that issue comes out, where it'll be the cover, kind of like Superman and Wonder Woman holding each other. It'll be Catwoman and Steve holding one another.
No, what are you talking about? It'll be Catwoman and Batman holding one another. Oh, wait, they kind of are in this issue.
And at the very end, they get caught by what seems to be robotic Superman, Batman, and then Wonder Woman. Mm-hmm. When they go up against the Justice League, though, that's when I'm going to be really interested.
Yeah. It was cool seeing Hawkman. What they did with him was hilarious. They're having a meeting, and he walks in covered in blood. And who is it, Vibe? Mm-hmm. Sits there, he's like, you know you're covered in blood. And he's like, not mine. Just keeps sitting there. And Vibe's like, oh, kind of scoots out of the way.
Scoots over, yeah.
It was really funny. Next up, we have Justice League number 18. The story's called Recruited by the Grid. Written by Jeff Johns. Drawn by Jesus Size. And this is them recruiting more people. So you see at the beginning, random people sitting around in front of electronic devices, and then things pop up that, like, hey, you want to go do this cool thing instead?
You've been invited.
Right. And then they all end up in the Watchtower, getting in fights, doing stuff. Batman's a little out of character, I felt.
Trying to expand the Justice League.
Right. Because he's like, we need full-timers because we're only half-timers or something like that.
It seems like the world is too much for them to handle, but I think Batman would have figured out, why would we form this Justice League unless we can dedicate ourselves to it?
I think Batman would have gone, don't care about you guys. I got Gotham down there. Do what you want.
Yeah, they eventually recruit Black Canary, Black Lightning, Blue Devil, Element Woman, Firestorm, Gold Rush, Nightwing's there, Platinum, Vixen, Zatanna, and the Atom. Nightwing, I guess, got tricked by Batman into going up there.
Batman's so sneaky.
Because Nightwing's like, I thought this was an emergency. And Batman's like, Nightwing. And he's like, no, I'm not going to be a part of this.
Oh, he was jealous.
Like, you haven't been up here in this Watchtower for 2 seconds, Nightwing. You're already whining. Robin.
Yeah. Anyway, one of them goes crazy. She's an android.
Which is a part of the plan of whoever is going to start this Trinity War, whoever's sparking this.
Right.
She supposedly loses control, starts running around, harming the other members, but at that point, that's when the computer gets hacked and all their files get taken and sent elsewhere.
Right.
And it ends with, I think it says like Road to Trinity War or Prelude to Trinity War. So whatever information they got, I think they're going to use it to start that war with Justice League of America among themselves.
Probably. Like Batman and Catwoman in love?
But it ends with a big skull and crossbones. It says, have a nice day. Looks like someone's playing my own game against us. Cyborg figures that out. Who do you think the betrayer is?
I don't know.
You think maybe it was just someone that snuck in there, or you think actually someone's betraying the Justice League?
I don't think any of the Justice League members are betraying the Justice League.
What if it was Batman? Then I'd be like, awesome!
Batman can do whatever the hell he wants. I don't know who it is.
Trinity War starting, everyone. Mm-hmm. Big event for DC.
It'll be exciting.
We also read the Animal Man trade. This was Volume 2. It collects issues 7 through 14, I believe. If you remember, we read the first trade, and we really enjoyed it, especially the art on this one. It's written by Jeff Lemire. Ton of pencilers.
Jeffs in comics.
Yeah.
Why are there so many Jeffs?
But this one connects to Swamp Thing, which is what we were really excited about, because in the last one it ended with them trying to find the Green Man and Swamp Thing, and because he's a part of the green, Animal Man's part of the red, and then of course you have the Rot. And every couple of years you have one or the other trying to take over the other's territory. Rot is right now currently trying to take over the rest of the green or the red's world. That balance is always there. Green and red always teams up to take down the Rot, or whenever red was out of balance, then it would be the green and the Rot teaming up to take down the red, and it just goes in cycles. Well, this time the Rot are coming back up and they're rising, and that's why the red, which is Animal Man, has to team up with the green, which is Swamp Thing, to bring balance again to all three parts.
Right. It's a really dark book. The art is really good, but it's really gross. There are some times when I'm just like, oh, okay.
It wasn't as bad as the last one where that guy's organs were coming out of his mouth.
But that happened in this one too. I think we were desensitized from the last one. So it wasn't as bad, because there was, when they do the flashback, Constantine was in this one too. Holy crap, Constantine. Anyway, when they do the flashback of the last time that the green and the red had to team up, you had that guy and he had all his organs coming out of him. It was gross.
Next issue, they're going to have, the skull coming out from the mouth, but then, their penis is going to come through their eye. And,
what?
And we'll be like, this isn't that bad.
Oh, look, just normal everyday
stuff. And he's vomiting from it.
Great story, though. A lot of character death. That little girl's really creepy.
His daughter, Animal Man's daughter.
She's 4 years old, and she's
like the avatar
creepy child of the Red.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, wait, no. See, here it is. Wait.
Avatar of the Red, and she's stronger than her father. And Swamp Thing, I thought Swamp Thing was pretty awesome. Like, the flashback Swamp Thing was really cool.
Yeah, this isn't Alec Holland's Swamp Thing. See, look, there it is.
Yeah.
Guts coming out everywhere. No, this isn't Alec Holland. This is back in 18-something, the last time that the Red tried to take over. You found that avatar, and the Swamp Thing met up and, I guess, knocked it back down. You did get to see your first glimpse of the Red's avatar, and we don't know much about him yet. I was waiting for it to be somebody that we already knew, but I guess that'd be kind of hard to tie in. You find out why this little girl became the avatar, because the last one was killed, and they're like, well, we know that the next avatar is going to come from this line, but we don't have time to wait, so we're just going to make this guy Animal Man. And so you got to see that. It was really good. It's still a great story, even if it's a little hard sometimes.
Yeah, we're going to try to check out the Swamp Thing Volume 2. We're going to try to pick that up next, because that goes alongside Animal Man. So you see all the events that Swamp Thing's going through, I guess, are taking place in the same timeline as Animal Man.
Yeah, I would imagine that they would. I'm excited to see their meetup.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to fight or anything, but...
No. Well, and I like how they keep pointing out that Alec Holland really doesn't want this. He really doesn't want to be Swamp Thing, so that'll be interesting.
In the same way that Animal Man also doesn't want to be a part of this little war, the Red and the Rot.
Right.
He just wants to protect his family.
Yeah, but it was really good. It'll be interesting to see. And then I guess this is a little, at the end, a little preview of when he does meet up with Alec. And his woman's happy. I'm glad he's happy with
I want Animal Man to run into Swamp Thing's arms, also kissing. Like
That'd be really funny. We did see a lot of, I guess, premonitions, flash forwards, whatever, of all the Justice League dead, too. There was a lot of that in there. The world that could be
is kind of what they were trying to say.
Right. And you just see Batman, like, blah. I'm like, that's not really Batman.
That's someone else. He planted a body.
Yeah.
And
Batman's still alive somewhere.
See him hiding in a shadow somewhere.
Yeah, because Batman's perfect. He has no decaying in him. The Rot can't use him. The Rot just goes, oh, Batman.
We're immune to him. I know. Battering.
Why isn't this working? Except they have that hissy voice.
Yeah. Just a bunch of S's.
Why is it's working, Batman?
Must be that love spell from Superman that's protecting him. Tied this into Harry Potter. Voldemort tried to kill Batman, and Voldemort ended up real weak.
Yeah. No, Batman goes back in time and just shoots Voldemort. Well, he wouldn't shoot him, but he stops him.
Puts him in Arkham. Can't escape. Arkham is apparently stronger than Azkaban.
Well, yeah.
That revolving door.
Oh, man, Arkham. Any news on Arkham 3?
Arkham 3. It's coming out this year. That's all they've said. Baldini's not writing it.
Speaking of things that came out video game-wise, I got a Pikachu 3DS.
3DS XL Pikachu Edition.
So beautiful. The only thing I wish it had is when you opened it, it goes Pika! And when you close it, it goes Cha!
That'd be awesome.
That would have been perfect. But it doesn't do that. Beautiful system. We actually have an unboxing of it, and I guess we'll talk about it more in there.
Yeah, we've recorded our unboxing. We just got to put it all together. We'll put that up later this week.
It's been a hectic week. Sorry, guys. Should have done this last night, but we were doing cooler things.
We went to the Orlando Improv, and we saw Kevin Smith and Brian Johnson in the Why Bry, live podcast, I guess.
Funniest show I've ever seen.
Really good show.
It was really great. I like that Brian stayed around afterwards to talk to everybody. Not saying that Kevin Smith's an asshole for not doing it, because...
He would have never left if he
would have never left, yeah, and I get that. But Brian Johnson, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, he took pictures with everyone. He was selling his Why Bry shirts. Kevin's wife, Jen, was there. People were taking pictures with her, too.
Yeah, that was funny.
And Tom from the Accelerators, he's the editor. Co-owner, I believe, of Blue Juice Comics. He was there. We saw him again. We saw him the first time at MegaCon. He was really nice
guy.
As well.
Really nice guy.
He actually took the picture for us. Yeah.
Yep.
With Brian Johnson.
Brian was so funny. It was a really funny show, guys. I believe they're only 21 and up. So sorry, but if they come to your city or close by, pay whatever they want.
It is well worth it.
It was. This guy had hesitations.
Yeah, I almost didn't go. Yeah, because it was, I mean, it's still $25 each, $50, and then you have to drive out there, pay for parking as well. Mm-hmm. But it was well worth it, especially with the people we met afterward.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of Kevin's fans, for the most part, are really, really nice people. Mm-hmm. You can walk up and talk to them, and they'll talk to you.
They thought we were writers, which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because we're just chilling with the beer.
Like, we're not exactly in line for Brian Johnson yet, so we're just having a beer and just chilling. Oh, do you guys write stuff?
We should have been like, yeah, we write for the accelerators.
We wrote Brian and Kevin's thing, actually. It's all scripted.
That was us. Oh, it was so funny, though. You guys are going to have to check out that podcast, too.
And that person goes, no, you didn't, I did.
It's really funny. I think it's even funnier live, of course, than if you're actually there, because you get to see their face. Like, some of Kevin's expressions were hilarious. Like, when Brian would say something, and he'd go...
Yeah, wide-eyed.
Yeah. Oh, so funny.
And if you don't know Brian Johnson, he's from Comic Book Men.
He's the bearded
Inspired
guy.
Randall.
Very cynical.
For the Clerks.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yep.
But I think that is it for this week. Once again, we apologize for it being late. We're going to hopefully try to be on time with not only the Pikachu unboxing, but also for next week's comics. We had a lot of books this week, though, and they were both really good. Once again, my pick of the week was the New Superior Spider-Man.
And mine was Saga. Oh, did we have a pass this week?
Pass of the week, I'm going to go ahead and go with... Sword of Sorcery, actually.
Really?
Amethyst. That's going to be my pass of the week.
Because the stupid Constantine.
Running around here.
I'm going to go with Ultimate Comics Spider-Man, actually. And mostly, like I said, I just don't connect with any of the characters. And that's probably, if I had started earlier, maybe I would have liked it more. But it also follows very closely with the old Spider-Man and his stuff, and I never followed Spider-Man. Superior to me, it's like, it's a new Spider-Man.
Yeah, you can jump right in.
I'm following from the beginning of this Spider-Man's journey. I'm not picking up on somebody else picking up an old Spider-Man's journey. So, no, that's my pass.
Yep. I'll try to throw in the link for the Pikachu unboxing sometime later this week, so you'll see it. If you watch this right away, you won't see it, but we'll have that up in a couple days. Otherwise... Yep, I think that's it for this week.
Yep, make sure you guys check us out on iTunes, rate us so other people can find us easier and it looks better. I think we almost have all of them up.
Almost. And then we're also on Twitter, @ReasonsI'mBroke. Let us know what made you broke this week. #ReasonsI'mBroke.
And definitely check us out on YouTube as well. We got pictures and annotations and tons of fun stuff.
Unboxings, yeah. Yes. Those are a lot of fun.
Yeah, I need to sing a song for the next one.
You'll come up with one.
I will.
Pokemon theme.
Yeah. But thank you guys very much for listening. As always, I'm Kelly.
And I'm Daniel.
We'll see you next week.